So Johnny Herbert yesterday was sacked by the FIA as a Formula One steward. Something that, to be honest with you, has been coming for quite some time. It's a real conflict of interest, in my opinion, when it comes to somebody deciding on the results of races, being involved in gambling firms, and on top of that being an F1 pundit. It's a real mix of things that should not be mixed together, in my opinion. Now, you can criticise Herbert all you want, and rightfully so when it comes to that. I totally understand why people are not a fan of him. I totally get it, right? But someone raised a very good point in the comments, and I absolutely agree with this person. I mean, I see them quite a bit commenting on these posts. I'll probably put a screenshot of the comment itself just down here. But basically, if you want to read the whole thing, it's pretty much just saying that, the reason why, Herbert may have chosen to take on the role as a pundit and also the role as someone who is involved with gambling firms is because FIA stewards aren't paid. They are volunteers, and this is something that we have spoken about a lot here on the F1 Chronicle, because at the end of the day, in my opinion, there's no reason why these stewards shouldn't be paid. It is an important role. It's a very crucial role. Without the stewards, we can't go racing. And to expect these guys to basically do it as volunteers off of their own, off their own back, I feel like is wrong, especially in a sport that generates billions of pounds billions of dollars or whatever currency you want to use. A lot of money. That's a lot of money in revenue every single year. And Mohammed bin Sulayem Al bin Saviour, our glorious leader from the FIA, the president, says there's no money for it, which I just think is farcical. But a lot of people have been saying this sentiment that, the F1 stewards should be paid. And I totally agree with this. And a lot of people have been saying it in the kind of media circles as well. So let's have a look at what's been said here, guys. Full article on the F1Chronicle.com as always. It's rumoured at least two teams, including Red Bull, asked the FIA to consider removing controversial Formula One steward Johnny Herbert from its roster. Herbert, who was publicly criticised by Max Verstappen and his father last year for alleged pro-British bias and airing those views in published media interviews, was scheduled to be the driver steward at the 2025 season opener in Melbourne. Jos Verstappen told Dutch media during the 2024 season that FIA should take a good look at the staffing of the stewards, who they put there, and whether there is no apparent conflict of interest. Herbert hit back, defending his parallel media work for a range of gambling websites that other outspoken former drivers Jacques Villeneuve and Juan Pablo Montoya also partake in. But the difference is, Mr. Herbert, they are not FIA stewards. They can do that if they wish. Everyone has an opinion, he said at the time. Martin Brundle has an opinion. Why can't I when I'm not at the racetrack? It's not just Max. I will criticise anyone if I feel it's warranted. Is there any kind of bias? No, of course not. I'll let you guys have your say on that. I've made my feelings clear on it. However, on Wednesday, the FIA declared that it has been mutually agreed that Herbert's duties as an FIA steward and those of a media pundit were incompatible. We thank him for his service and wish him well for his future endeavours. The classic statement, get out. Thank you, but get out. In his own statement, Herbert said he was grateful to the FIA for his years as a steward. It is a difficult job and there are tough decisions that have to be made, said the former Benetton, Sauber and Jaguar driver. As stewards, we have and will continue to treat both drivers and team personnel with the utmost respect and remain impartial at all times during all Grand Prix weekends. At the very same time, McLaren CEO Zak Brown was declaring at the Autosport Business Exchange Conference in London that F1 should end the era of non-permanent unpaid stewards. I don't think we're set up for success by not having full-time stewards, he said. As far as paying stewards, this will probably be unpopular amongst my fellow teams, but I am happy if McLaren and all the racing teams contribute. I think it's so important for the sport. I mean, yeah, I've said this many times. There's no reason why they shouldn't be able to do it. I'm not saying the teams should be having to fund it themselves. I think like the FIA and the Formula One is more than capable of being able to fund that. There's no reason why not. I don't see why there's not the money for that. It's there. It's there. It just needs to be redirected. And if it means that the revenue that these teams are getting is cut ever so slightly, and because it'd be a percent of their income to pay these, right? They don't have to be paid loads. They just have to be paid a decent wage, because a lot of them are relatively well off. They have to be, you'd think, because they're doing it right now voluntarily. So really, they're all right for money, you would assume. But at least give them some sort of wage so they don't have to go and do other things, right? That's just my opinion on it, and I know a lot of people share that opinion. I already did a video on Johnny Herbert yesterday when this got announced as a breaking news story, so check that out if you've not already seen it, of course. But yeah, what do you guys think? Should the F1 stewards be paid or not? Should the FIA? Just because at the end of the day, they have the money. They're finding drivers for all kinds of stuff right now. They got the money. They just don't want to admit it. Where's their money going? Where's the money for the fines going? We still don't know. But let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always, guys. Head over to Patreon if you want to support us some more as well. Really do appreciate all the support in any form that you guys can give, of course, as always. And yeah, see you soon for some more Formula 1 content here on the F1Chronicle.com.